In February of 1944, American bombs fell on Essen, Germany. The city was burning badly. Factories in the Ruhr Valley were turning to ash. But inside a factory that was only half destroyed, a strange thing was happening. Workers, some forced to be there, some prisoners, were bottling a special drink. This liquid was not the usual dark Coca-Cola. It was a cloudy, amber-colored drink. It smelled a little like apples in milk. This drink was Fanta. This was happening exactly when the Nazi government was falling apart. Its army was broken, and its ideas were about to be judged. Yet Coca-Cola's company in Germany was still making this drink. This drink would later become one of the most known soft drinks in the world. This amazing scene, with American bombs above and Nazi guards below, shows the truth of Fanta's start. This is not a happy story of a new idea or a simple business success. This is a thrilling story. It is about a company trying to live even when things were very hard. It shows how an American business could grow even under a dictator's rule. How did a drink made from old industrial waste in a harsh country become a happy symbol for children everywhere? How does a big company stay alive under a government that controls everything? And how does the dark truth of its past get washed away by many years of bright advertisements and sweet orange drinks?
A man in Germany. Max Keith came to Germany in 1933. He was 30 years old and very ambitious. He saw good business chances for Coca-Cola in Germany. The country's economy was improving under the new government. People had money to spend again, which helped his plans. Keith was smart and practical. He built many new factories even when it was difficult. He also made wide networks to deliver Coca-Cola across Germany. He formed strong relationships with government officials, including those in the rising Nazi Party. By 1938, his company, Coca-Cola GmbH, had 43 working factories and was building 9 more. Germany became Coca-Cola's second largest market in the world. Keith's plan was clear: expand with every German military gain. When German forces entered Austria in 1938, Keith quickly opened a Coca-Cola company there. After German soldiers moved into Poland in 1939, Keith built bottling plants in occupied lands like France, the Netherlands, and Norway. This expansion tied his success directly to the Third Reich's growth. The leaders at Coca-Cola in America, including President Robert Woodruff, knew this risky situation. Still, they kept sending the secret syrup for Coca-Cola to Germany. They said Keith was protecting American business there. But this balance could not last.
On December 11th, 1941, Adolf Hitler declared war on the United States. Instantly, all connections between Coca-Cola GmbH and its American parent company were broken. The U.S. government stopped all trade with Germany. The vital syrup supply stopped completely. Max Keith was alone in Germany, and his large business faced ruin. 3. The big problem. Max Keith faced a big problem. On December 11, 1941, Germany declared war on the United States.
The connection between Coca-Cola GmbH in Germany and its American parent company was broken. The U.S. government stopped all trade with Germany, so no more secret syrup for Coca-Cola could arrive. Keith's factories were now useless. The Nazi government watched foreign companies closely. Other American businesses, like General Motors, had their operations taken over. Coca-Cola, as an American company, faced the same danger. Keith was in a very difficult situation. Without the syrup, his factories could not make Coca-Cola. The Nazi regime could take his factories at any time. Keith wanted to save these factories, which he saw as American property for after the war. He also had to keep the company running in Germany. He needed a way to protect the business now and be able to explain his choices to American leaders later. Keith found a clever solution. He secured appointments for himself and his deputy at the Nazis' Office of Enemy Property.
This office oversaw important foreign-owned businesses. By making his company part of this German state system, Keith protected it. The Nazis could not nationalize his factories if the company was already integrated into their administration. This move saved his buildings and machines from being seized by the state. However, this did not solve the main problem. He still had factories, but nothing to put in the bottles. There was no Coca-Cola syrup. His workers would lose their jobs, and the distribution network Keith built would fall apart. German officials would soon question an idle factory. By early 1942, Keith's German subsidiary was close to being shut down completely. He needed a new plan fast. Max Keith gathered his team of chemists. He gave them a desperate order: invent a brand new drink. They could only use ingredients available in Germany during the war. They had to use what they could find, even small scraps. They could not focus on what was missing. They had to be creative with only the leftover materials from a nation at war. 4. A new drink. Max Keith had given his team a hard task. They needed to make a new drink using only what was available in Germany during the war. Normal ingredients were gone. The chemists worked with what they had. They used the leftovers of the leftovers. Their main ingredients were apple pomace and whey. Apple pomace was what was left after pressing apples for cider. It was the skins, seeds, and fibers. Whey was a liquid from making cheese. Other things like beet sugar and saccharin, a sweet chemical from coal tar, were also used. They added other fruit and vegetable scraps when they could find them. The drink was not pretty. It was a pale, cloudy amber color, like weak tea. Its taste was not good. It changed with the seasons because the ingredients changed. Sometimes it tasted a little like cider. Other times it had hints of berry, but often these were just imagined flavors. It felt thin in the mouth, not thick like real soda. It also left a metallic taste because of the saccharin. It was, simply put, a terrible drink. But it was a soft drink, and in Germany, real Coca-Cola was very rare. It was only for wounded soldiers in hospitals. This new drink filled a big, empty space. Then came the name. Max Keith wanted a name that brought thoughts of imagination and escape. A salesman named Joe Knipp had a great idea. He took the German word Fantasie, which means imagination or fantasy. He shortened it to Fanta. The name was perfect.
In a country filled with war and problems, Fanta offered a small escape. It was a moment of imagination. This strange drink, made from waste, became very popular. By the year 1943, Coca-Cola GmbH was selling 3 million cases of Fanta every year. This was a huge success, even in wartime. But how did this unpalatable drink become so successful? The reason for its amazing sales will be revealed next.
A drink to survive. The real reason for Fanta's amazing sales was not just its taste, it was something more basic: survival. Germany faced very strict sugar rationing during the war. Families received only a small amount of sugar each week. But Max Keith's company found a way for Fanta to get a special sugar allowance. This meant Fanta was one of the few sweet things available for German homes. German households quickly found new uses for the drink. They did not just drink Fanta, they used it as an important ingredient in their kitchens. People poured Fanta into soups, stews, and even baked goods. The sweetness and flavor from Fanta made their simple, often tasteless, wartime meals more enjoyable. Fanta became a crucial tool for survival, helping families add calories and taste to their meager food rations. It was a sweet helper in very hard times. Making Fanta in wartime Germany was a constant fight. Allied bombers targeted German industrial areas, and Coca-Cola's factories were often hit. The main office in Essen was completely destroyed. Many other Fanta plants were bombed more than once. Still, production continued in small, hidden places. Workers, some of whom were convicts avoiding military service or foreign laborers forced to work, filled bottles by hand. The company's workforce was desperate, laboring in damaged buildings as bombs fell nearby. This showed the harsh reality of keeping a business alive during total war. Max Keith's cleverness kept the company from closing. He worked directly with the Nazi government, holding a position in the Office of Enemy Property. This allowed Coca-Cola GmbH to continue operations and protect its assets. But this close work with the regime also meant the company was a part of the Nazi war economy. Keith's choices were practical, but they raised a serious moral question. Was he actively helping the Nazi war effort? This was a complex problem with no easy answer. As the American army moved through Germany, closing in on the remaining factories, Keith's personal fate was unclear. The war was ending, and his actions would soon be judged. Would he be seen as a loyal manager who protected American property in a difficult time? Or would he be charged as someone who collaborated with a terrible enemy? The answer would decide his future and the future of the company he had saved. After the war. When the Second World War finally ended in 1945, American soldiers entered Germany. They found Max Keith in Essen, still managing Coca-Cola's German factories. Many buildings were destroyed, but Keith was there, working in a half-bombed factory, still bottling the wartime Fanta drink. His first act was to send a legendary message, a telegram to the Coca-Cola headquarters in Atlanta, America. It read, "Coca-Cola GmbH still functioning. Send auditors." This simple message signaled that the German business was intact, ready for its American owners. Coca-Cola's executives in Atlanta quickly investigated Max Keith's actions during the war. They needed to understand if he had worked against American interests. After their review, they cleared his name. Keith was seen as a hero who had cleverly kept the company's property safe in Germany. He had not joined the Nazi Party and had protected valuable assets. Because of his efforts, just weeks after the Allied forces took control, Coca-Cola began making its original, popular drink in Germany again. The original Fanta, which was made from strange ingredients like apple parts and cheese liquid, was immediately stopped. Coca-Cola did not want to remember this wartime product. It was treated as a shameful secret, something to be forgotten. For the company, Fanta was just a temporary solution, a way to keep factories running when the real Coca-Cola syrup could not reach Germany. This story was not unique for American businesses. Other large companies, such as Ford and IBM, also operated in Nazi Germany during the war. Their actions showed a pattern. Many corporations chose to maintain their businesses and assets, putting practical business needs before political disagreements or war. This raised questions about corporate choices during such dark times. If the Fanta born in Nazi Germany was meant to be a forgotten secret, how did its name become known all over the world again?
This question remained unanswered for a decade. Then, in 1955, in Naples, Italy, Coca-Cola made a surprising decision. They decided to bring back the Fanta name, but this time it would be for a completely new, brightly colored drink with a fresh taste, ready to begin a new story. 7. A new Fanta. After 10 years, Coca-Cola made a big choice. In 1955, in Naples, Italy, they brought back the Fanta name. But this new Fanta was very different from the wartime drink. It had a new recipe, a new color, and a new story. The old Fanta was cloudy and made from old apple parts and cheese liquid. This new Fanta was bright, vibrant orange. It was marketed with a sunny, happy feeling, like the Mediterranean Sea. Coca-Cola wanted to make sure people forgot Fanta's difficult past in Nazi Germany. They wanted a fresh start. The marketing was very smart. The color orange was chosen carefully. Orange makes people think of warmth, energy, and fun. It also reminds them of fresh, healthy citrus fruits. This helped create a positive feeling around the new drink, far from its dark beginnings. Fanta quickly grew. It spread across Europe and then all over the world. Coca-Cola used a new plan for Fanta. Unlike its main drink, Coca-Cola, which usually had one recipe everywhere, Fanta changed for each place. It became a global shapeshifter. For example, in the Balkans, people could find Fanta Chocata, which tasted like elderflower and lemon. In Brazil, there was Fanta Maracuja with passion fruit. In Japan, Fanta Melon and Fanta Lychee were popular. This plan of making unique local flavors helped Fanta connect with many different cultures. This idea of changing for each market was very successful.
It helped Fanta become a huge brand. But how does this strategy work in practice when the company is so big? Today, the Fanta you buy in America is chemically different from the Fanta you buy in Europe. They are not the same drink at all. Fanta today. Today, Fanta is a huge global brand, sold in over 190 countries. Yet Fanta in America is very different from Fanta in Europe. American Fanta Orange often has about 73 grams of sugar in one bottle. It uses corn syrup and artificial flavors and colors. It is made to be very bright and sweet, often for young consumers. European Fanta, however, is made differently. British Fanta Orange has much less sugar, around 22 grams. It usually uses natural sugars or sweeteners, and its flavors and colors come from real fruit. This makes it taste less sweet and more natural. Fanta's advertising also changes by region. In America, Fantanas, young women, were used in ads for fun and excitement, targeting teenagers. In Europe, Fanta ads focus on refreshment, natural ingredients, and family scenes for a wider audience.
Across the world, Fanta offers many flavors. Over 200 kinds have been created. Japan alone has seen over 100 unique Fanta flavors, like melon or lychee. In the United States, there are usually 20 to 30 flavors, such as orange, grape, and strawberry. This strategy lets Fanta suit local tastes everywhere. Fanta also now offers zero sugar versions and fruit juice blends. This helps the brand appeal to people who care about their health. The bright, almost neon orange color of Fanta is key to its brand. This color makes people think of energy, fun, and fresh fruit. It helps the drink stand out. So Fanta today is a massive billion-dollar brand, making over $1 billion in sales each year. It has grown greatly from its start as a drink made from leftover ingredients in a bombed factory during World War II. Max Keith created it to keep his company alive in desperate times. This drink, born from darkness in Nazi Germany, now sells joy and sunshine around the world. Its huge success has helped many people forget its complicated past. Fanta's story shows how a product can change completely, from tough beginnings to a symbol of carefree fun. Thinking about Fanta's journey, does a product's difficult past still matter once it has been fully changed and accepted by many?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world,